vaccinations, the measles, mumps and rubella.
So is everybody's, the other children up to date with their vaccines?
Yes.
Yeah.
I happen to come from Uganda, and I happen to have had that. Some time back they did a vaccine on girls to prevent them from cancer, and some of this vaccine turned out to be fake. So these children who took that vaccine became barren. They can't have kids. So I strongly feel there is not enough research is done, or other people are being used as guinea pigs instead of really having concrete.
Like my daughter, she's gonna be 5 by November. I already got an update like for her vaccination. The last one we did was awesome because when we got there, it was as easy as I expected it to be, because I was actually thinking it's going to be more of a process, but when I got there, it was just like that, and we left within 5 minutes, and she was fine with it. So I think for me, it's good. It's good. Like my 2 sons, they are done with their vaccination for now.
Yeah, public health had approached us to say basically there's a low uptake of childhood vaccinations within the African community. So they kind of wanted us to find out why, and then also speak to parents maybe who had or didn't have their children vaccinated.
We could see this as this could be as a result of so many different excuses coming up. Maybe work time or lack of information. You know, getting the right information at the right time, and we're not paying attention to the right details. So you see, if you miss a vaccination, you're supposed to report to the NHS the reason why you have missed a vaccination. I believe my children, they are all up to date.
Right.
Yeah, but so it's actually have to do with, I will look at it more of the information side. If the information doesn't get to them on time, or their access to the internet as well can also limit them from getting the right information at the right time. That could be one of the reasons why these parents tend to miss the vaccination for their children. Or culturally, some people believe they don't like vaccination. Cultural wise, it could be. You know, some cultures will tell you we don't take vaccination, we don't take medication, and all of that. So if we can get this information out to them, telling them how important these vaccinations are, why the children need the vaccination, how it helps them, their health-wise, growth, even school intelligence level, keep them up to date and health and all of that. If they get the right information, if we have more sessions where you can probably invite somebody from the health sector to give an open speech about the importance of vaccination, I think that could help. Some people don't go through their phone as we do, as some others do, I would say, because if you don't get to go through your phone, then you might not have access to this detail. But if you have a forum, like a session or anything that can have people sit together where you talk to them and tell them the importance and the necessities of these things, they won't get to understand that. So
Okay. They've actually offered to do like an online session as well as hold a clinic. I mean, we haven't agreed to a clinic yet because we don't know what the uptake is going to be, to be quite honest. I need to find out from members of the community. Adele, have you had your...
We are actually seeing, but the other thing is that I've come across many African families, parents actually, that say flu vaccinations are a no-no. I don't know why, and I'm also kind of like holding back on them because things are being spread about the flu vaccine. So I'm kind of, skeptical about having get the flu vaccine. So maybe we need more information on flu vaccines and stuff, because social media is spreading something else.
Back at home, you have a card.
Exactly.
yes,
And
and you still do, yeah.
Yeah, most parents don't go along with the card. Like me, what I did when I got here, I checked all the vaccination being given and the one needed to be. Like my first son, he's almost done with his, or he's done with his, except maybe this fluid, which is normal. Then my second son, but my daughter, she hasn't. So what I did, I I got to the GP, I had to let them know what it is, because not telling them, sometimes they might not really get to know what you want. So I try to follow up that vaccination because I know it's very important. Because if you don't have it, a lot of things can go wrong. You won't even know where it's coming from. So I had an appointment, I explained the details, the checks, and they saw what needed to be given. So they had to put her on a daily, monthly check or sort of like that. So that's what we now followed up. 3 months after she went for hers, 6 months after she has another one. So by that way, it will even help them, to check rightly. But some parents don't even have that. They don't even know which is given, which has not been given. And sometimes I know some of this vaccine, they are not supposed to be given twice. Yeah, I don't know. So
We used to have our own immune system. What is happening lately? Flu. Why would somebody be vaccinated? And I would understand for elderly because they're poorly, they're elderly and they're poor health. But for a child, you're supposed to have
because of
this.
the environment.
So you see, this is part of the problem. Now he's finding it difficult to see a reason why a child should be vaccinated from flu. Now, if you ask me, I can tell you. Do you want to say something?
Go on.
Yeah, from my understanding,
Yeah.
as you get older, your immune system gets weaker. This goes the same thing for newborn babies, I would say. Their immune system is not that strong. They can easily get even skin infection. Some hands that will touch them might even result to, is this skin infection they call scabies?
Eczema.
Kids get all these things. Yeah. So you see, this immunization they give them, I believe, helps them to keep their system immune already before they get exposed to the atmosphere, the weather, the system, the people around them, even the breath on their faces. People come and carry your child and they breathe all sort of nonsense into their faces. Sorry
Going
for
to
that.
public places.
Yeah, going to public places. So you see, this is the importance why these children need to be immunized.
Yeah, you're talking here or back home? Your question.
But even here,
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
But vaccines
They've
have been
already-
in play for
Yes,
years
but we
now.
have rubella, the measles, those ones are understandable. But
Yeah.
for flu, for heaven's
Yeah.
sake,
But flu is only given, it's not given to children, as
Yeah.
far as I know.
okay.
It's the other illnesses, so it is those major ones which were killers before the vaccinations came out. And we were regularly given them as children without any discussion. And then in the early 80s there was a claim that people had maybe one child in 1,000 or even 5,000, one child in all of the children that had been vaccinated had passed away or had some complications. And then it seemed to be then there was a raft of people not having their children vaccinated. And so I'm just going to talk about the childhood vaccinations. From my point of view, my son had, when he was 2.5 years old, having had all his vaccinations, he then caught acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and fortunately it was curable in children, and so he had 2 years treatment, but then when he started school, he was not allowed to start school until every single child in the class had their, the school 4.5 years measles, mumps and rubella, because a child that is undergoing chemotherapy, if they then contract chickenpox or measles, it's fatal. And so even at school, attending school, he'd come home and the nurse would say, and we'd get a message saying he's had to have an injection today, because if there was one child that goes to the school, that attends the school, and they find out that they've got measles or chickenpox, he then had to have an injection. For a child that was phobic about needles and having had so many hundreds already, regular blood tests weekly, it was really difficult. We did become experts at finding ways of helping him through getting injections and coping with needles, including sucking a sweet, because it's endorphins when you're sucking a sweet. But he'd get through a packet, because in between screaming he'd get through a packet. So it was quite an ordeal, and then a year after his treatment had finished, he then had to have a complete rerun of the vaccinations that he'd had as a child, because what happens is then the treatment knocks out all the vaccines. And you're saying about the verification of them, and I hear what you're saying about children having an anti-cancer vaccine. I've never heard of that before, so yes, I would say that it was fake. However, these are small, they're small doses of the, I think they're small doses of the infection itself, aren't they?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And there's a difference between a virus and a childhood illness. I can't think of the name. And so it does build up your immune system, and therefore you shouldn't catch it after you've had the injection. You shouldn't catch it. So it was quite a hairy time for us. So I would always be on the side of having the childhood vaccines.
People in England would stay in England. Mm-hmm. People in Abdul Duengo, they'll be there. Mm-hmm. But now, because of globalization, everyone is meeting everyone, and everyone is bringing their own type of, even the flu. You know, I never knew there was so many kinds of flus. Yeah, I just have a flu and that's a flu. Now there's bird flu, and there's this kind of COVID. All those things, there are different strains of flus that our bodies have never experienced. So even if we got vaccines back then, but because of a new strain, our body cannot protect itself from the new strain. That's why they now have to keep up coming with different types of preventions.
I hear you, but where we may become resistant. And once we become resistant, it's like how they tell us not to abuse antibiotics. And you know, it is similar to that if you get me.
No, it's not
don't
really.
abuse antibiotics.
I'm sorry, it's not really similar. These are different strains, but it's right. What you're saying is that I read ages ago that there are different strains of flu, and the more resistance we're building up, then the flu virus itself will then mutate and become stronger, just as the COVID virus did. It mutated several times, didn't it? And even the mutations had mutations, and I think that in the end there were at least 5 different strains of COVID going around. So with flu there are several, and it's been going on, we may not realise, but it has been going on for centuries. You know, they reckon that every 100 years or so there is a plague, and so to us the pandemic was new, but then 100 years ago, 1918 I think it was, there was what they called Spanish flu, which was similar to a pandemic, and you know, it wiped out a lot of the population. But yeah, so I did talk to a nurse once. I took my daughter to the hospital for, she'd just broken her ankle, and as the carer I was offered a flu vaccine, and I was chatting away, and she was saying that each year they have to decide which strain of flu they're going to use, and they cannot guarantee that it is that strain which is going to be prevalent in the society that year. So that's why sometimes people have reactions, and I did, but what it is that it's giving you like a small dose of the flu, but it's guaranteed. So I think flu kills, is it 35,000 adults a year, particularly old age pensioners a year. And so because we are a finite race, we're not meant to live forever, there are all these nasty germs and viruses combining together or to conspiring to win, if that makes sense.
We're
Does-
having many, not only children, but because we are discussing many children are born with different diseases. Yeah, so some of them can also be lifelong. So to safeguard them against other, maybe more harsh infections, and to make sure they have a chance to survive if they get, flu can kill you.
Of course.
Yeah, let alone a small child. So I would suggest if our children are invited or are said to be,
Vaccinated.
to be eligible for such preventative measures, we take them, because most of the time we don't even know what our children have in their blood. Yeah, it's only when it comes out then we know, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's a good thing if we accept the vaccination. Also, when you go for vaccination, what some parents don't do is they don't ask questions.
Exactly.
What is my child having? What vaccination are you giving him? What are my expectations? Is he going to run fever? These questions are quite important. These are the things that you can ask when your child is having a vaccination, because you need all the information that you can get. IT and AI and how to teach people how
That's
to
true,
use
there's
it.
a lot
So
of
you see,
misinformation.
we
So
still have a lot of
NHS
people running behind on those information.
It's a really
So
good
it's
point.
best for you to ask verbally. And even if you need a leaflet or whatever that can help you keep this information, you just ask.
Yes.
The worst you can get is no.
Yeah.
And some parents
Yes.
refusing to
Yeah.
get vaccinated.
It really
Religion
does.
does.
Imagine we are saying children still die even they've been vaccinated, but this group, they don't do it at all. At all. Yeah. So
They might have
we
their own
have
culture.
some of them coming to Europe or any other developed countries for work, for greener pastures, and they
And still-
flock in like nobody's business. But their mentality, nobody has approached them to say, guys, we are now playing in a different territory.
Yeah.
This is what we do. You can have your faith,
Yeah.
but there's also need for professional intervention, because we do have the same human makeup, biological makeup, and it can't be because of faith that our bodies will not succumb to, for example, Ebola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see,
Yeah,
it's
no
one thing.
matter what amount of prayer you can have,
Yeah.
amount of faith you can have, but if it's Ebola or if it's, I hear now a lot of children are also getting some cancers. I don't know if there are any cancer vaccines.
No,
So
no,
there
no
are
vaccines,
things
but
that we
there's
need to educate
improved treatment.
the newcomers, if we can say, and say, guys, yeah, we know we have our culture. Culture also, we just say because it's a vaccine, we don't have vaccines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, culture-wise, you don't have it. So what we do is
Yeah.
The COVID vaccines,
Yeah.
people are saying people have never been the same after this. People are spreading lies.
Understanding
Blood
and all
clots that in our bodies, we don't know what is in there.
So I went to the hospital, I think Anna, I told you, and they took my blood. They say I've got dormant anemia. Yeah, yeah, I have it. They don't know whether it was due to the vaccines back then or it was my mother's womb. But yeah, I do have dormant anemia. So let's encourage
people
people
to go to the hospital.
yes, hospital, and also to take time to listen. Because the problem is people don't listen.
Don't listen. Yeah.
You mention COVID, people just look at you and say, it's
What are you
crazy.
talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? They don't get to get to the information. Yeah, they think COVID was manufactured to kill all the black people in the world.
Yeah. There's always a story there.
Yeah.
Chances of catching AIDS are less when you're circumcised. I think scientifically it's right. And they are right, but they say now the medicine they use when they are circumcised in the hospital tends to it tends to reduce your male energy, if you know what I mean.
Fertility.
But no, just generally your energy, like
Okay.
Okay.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
And a lot of people have taken that and they think that there's something happening to them.
Have to be afraid for vaccinating.
So,
So,
the best,
ask questions
it's a really good point.
and read. Ask questions and read.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
If you just see a woman that is pregnant, she says she doesn't want to have vaccine for anything,
Yeah.
and she's pregnant. She's risking the life of the baby and herself. That baby can be born and develop a whole lot of things. And where can you tackle it from? Nowhere, because it's already complicated. So while the baby is in the womb, there's some process you should go through. Monthly vaccine, from weekly to monthly, from monthly to 3 months till the due time. So when that baby comes out, you are healthy, the baby is healthy, and you undergo more vaccine. I'm using myself for example, and you find out these kids, they tend to be very okay. Do you know? Then if you see those ones that say, my grandmother says she's going to mix up some stuff for me, or we don't deal with the vaccine and they believe on this other part. When they have these issues, sometimes they don't survive it. Sometimes the children die at birth, and the mothers come up with lots of issues. And for me, the vaccine we need to, I think, we need lots of education about this, because some people, from what they know, they think is what is there till now. Like, they don't believe there's any better change or there should be anything better when it comes to vaccine. They just feel, some people feel I will help them. God made the physician, obviously. There's a purpose for everything. Sorry?
God made the doctors and
Yeah.
the hospitals and gave
Yeah,
them
but
brains.
I don't know why some people don't have that. Yeah.
And another point, and the system. But the good thing is, we also have a lot of professionals from our background who are in the system, but unfortunately, they are not visible to us. We have them, but they don't really have the energy to say, okay, my people are living in the doldrums, whatever that one is.
Yeah.
They don't make an effort to say, let me go to UA, I'm a doctor. We've never seen a doctor here. Save alone the doctor from Ghana, if at all he was a doctor. But we do have a lot of doctors in the hospitals. They know about UAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, even nurses, let alone the doctors. We have a lot of high-ranked nurses in the NHS. They don't have time to say, I've got my people out there. Even they listen when people say black communities are hard to reach. Even they have that mentality as well.
Yeah.
But we are not hard to reach.
No.
We are the easiest people to reach. You just need to know the environment to set up and put us together, and people will listen. So we need to find lunch or Africa Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's up to us to say, okay, we're going to have Africa Day. That's the Black Day. Not it's a Black Day in a bad way. Black People's Day. Yeah. Let's find those professionals, come forward, or we knock on their doors and say, guys, this is what we are having.
Yeah.
Would you be willing, or what? Black History.
Yeah.
Black History Month. That occasion is going to be massive. A lot of people. Yeah. So we need those.
The best and only website that I use for health information is the NHS website, because they are bound not to lie. The same as the BBC for news. I would only use the BBC for news. They are the television and radio are the only people that cannot lie about news. So the NHS is also the same, because if you think about it, they couldn't make anything up, because they could get sued and it would put people off coming. So if you have any symptoms or anything like that, you can always ring 111. But as far as vaccinations go, you should be able to get all the information that you need. Made a really good point, and that I always say that if somebody says, "Oh, it's against my religion," but God made the doctors who then found the cure, or at least reduced the chances. Going back to cancer, I know it's going off the scale, but going back to cancer, when I was growing up, cancer killed. It didn't matter what cancer.
There's concerns about receiving multiple vaccines, like what she just mentioned, during one visit. So they may say we're going to have A and B, and you as the mom, you know how your child is after vaccines. You say, no. I'm taking them now, and when they do it after 6 months, I'm going to do it. But then, is that program on after your 6 months? Or is it coming back?
Or is it too late for the
Yes, or is
vaccine?
it going to be too late for the vaccine? So, yes, but the research here says there is no hesitance. The hesitance is not unique to any ethnic group. So it's just mixed. We have British people, white British. They are also hesitant, but some of them, yes. We have other Africans like ourselves. I think most of us here, we do believe it's important. But then, the larger extent, because we faced so much resistance during COVID, even abuse. Yeah, we were even said to be working in tandem with the system, so to kill our own people. Yeah, and I even volunteered to be the face of Northampton, was I? Yeah, for the vaccine. I said, okay, guys, this can happen, but that picture wasn't very popular. Yeah. So
You get it. I mean, I believe one of us said earlier on that I went in and in less than 5 minutes I was out. How do I come in to take a vaccine and then leave in 5 minutes? Maybe I read about it. That's a personal decision. What if I've not read about it? I haven't gone online. I haven't checked the side effects. And then I get home and then the baby starts temperature. Do I come back? Do I call the ambulance? You see, so at what point does the system, should I say, educate the parents, the mother, the father, on the vaccine that you've been invited to come and take? And the invitation, is it through text message? Okay, so we are expecting you to come here so and so at this date for this vaccine. See you, full stop. Could it be a call where before you even pick up, it's being recorded? Okay, so there is this vaccination that kits between this and this and this within this period. So you are already aware that if you miss it, that is it. Then a little intro is given, side effect is given, and then will there be some 1 or 2 questions to answer if you don't come? Because I understand if you don't take your child to school, after some number of times there will be some penalty. So now, what have they put in place? If you don't come, do we leave it like that? Because if you just call me in, come to the hospital, this and this and this, to see the GP for an injection, you just get up, you also don't know anything, you go 5 minutes, you take the injection, and then that is it. The next time your child is sick, nothing will motivate you to go back when they call you again. See, and most of us here would read. So what is wrong with you? My head. Have you eaten today? No. Did you sleep well? No. Okay. Go and take paracetamol. You wouldn't even ask, doctor, what is wrong with me? You just accept whatever drugs they offer you and then you just leave. So what are they doing? How is the exposure, the education, the info and all that?
that's where now comes this phrase or the term, ads have been made, and now probably just fed up.
What efforts?
To reach the community. But the thing is,
if in their houses they didn't.
If they tried, probably they did it in the wrong way. Because remember we're saying, when people come from, I can only reference my country. When you come from Zimbabwe, you've got your religion, you've got your culture, you've got your different community, different society. those things are already embedded in your system, in your blood. It's not something that you come here and say, okay, I'm gonna drop because of I've had this. Yeah.